Hello, welcome back. Today, Steely Dan. Who would have thought that? Two Steely Dans done by Analogue Production. Although they came out last year on Record Store Day, they now came out as 45 RPM versions from Analogue Production. And I want to take the opportunity, because this week we have seen two from one band from Analogue Production, two releases from Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, one step, one regular one, the Eric Clapton and the Young Rascals. Maybe I want to compare it a tiny bit. Before we start with the comparing part of MoFi and their philosophy against Analogue Production and their philosophy, let's talk about these two releases. I could compare them to my versions of last year's Record Store Day, so I have a verdict which one you should get when you want to have the best sounding version. Okay, let's start with the packaging, which is of course identical when it comes to both releases. Both comes in a protective shrink wrap. The hype sticker says in both cases, so we have to go only through one. The Analogue Productions guarantee information plus precision and equals the best LPs ever pressed. Okay. Original master tapes. We use the original tapes and work with only best mastering studios. Heavyweight vinyl, plated and pressed at the world's best pressing plant on virgin vinyl. Means in this case, Quality Records pressing, the house record pressing plant in a way. Unmatched QC, meticulous test pressing evaluation and quality control. Deluxe packaging, highest quality jackets and rice paper inner sleeves. Limited edition, less than 1,000 records pressed per stamper, released in limited quantities. Yeah, but careful, true. When they're gone, they are gone for quite some times. But I silence my cell phone, excuse me. But those are not limited releases in the strict sense. So if you are a bit too late, it really makes sense to wait for the repress. Then you get those for the regular price. In this case, as those are 2-disc releases on 45 RPM, I think in the United States you get them for $60. But they are not strictly limited to, let's say, 10,000 copies. Okay, what do we get here? What we get here is quite interesting. Steely Dan on Analogue Production, 45 RPM. First record we talk about is 2000 release. Yeah, original release in 2000 by Walter Becker and Donald Fagen / Steely Dan. Two Against Nature. This without glare is not that easy. Beautiful, shiny, fantastic, probably Stoughton jackets, sturdy. That's how we love our jackets. I think it's safe to say. Beautiful gatefold with a beautiful photograph, the lyrics and the backside. And we have the 2003 release, Steely Dan, Everything Must Go. Same here, same extremely shiny, sturdy, beautiful Stoughton jacket. Perfect. I mean, perfect. That's perfection. Those jackets are always stunning. And of course, the 180 gram vinyl. I show you one vinyl because the labels and of course looks the same, but you know, I didn't clean those, so to show you how they come out of the box. And that's perfect. I mean, that's the quality we all want and we should get. Packaging perfect. Yeah, the best mastering engineers in the world, in this case, Bernie Gruntman, who's quite busy in the last weeks, at least with the releases that came out. He probably have done that quite some time ago. And Steely Dan on Analogue Production, I think that's big and interesting. And we are talking here those two Warner albums they did. The bigger titles they did on Universal, if I'm right. And please let them come too. I really have high hopes that we may see those also, because Chad Kassem is not the guy who won't do a complete catalog of a band. The Doors, Creedence Clearwater Revival, to name just Blood, Sweat and Tears. He also did quite some. So I'm in very, very high hopes, which of course would be something huge. Imagine Steely Dan as Audiophile remaster, because the source material when it comes to Steely Dan is of course outstanding. Becker and Fagen have been so crazy about the production of their Steely Dan records. We really could think that we will get incredible sounding releases. What do we have here? What we have here, let's keep it short, a home run. It's incredible. I thought the Record Store Day releases, they really sounded good. Really, those have been quite good releases. They sounded very, very fine. But those two releases, great stuff. Great stuff. 9.5, maybe a 10. You have to dig a bit deeper and you have to keep some air. But they really, really sound fantastic, and they blew the Record Store Day versions out of the window. It's a home run, really. Great pressing. Great. Totally silent. The details, probably due to the source they have, which probably is of extreme high quality, it's great. You know, those Record Store Days releases sounded so good that I was, let's see what happens. High pressure here, but brilliant. Dynamic, detailed soundstage. All the things we care for, all the things we look for, we have on these great releases. And of course, there's no Steely Dan. Great music. If you're into that kind of music, always. Of course, if you don't like the music, you couldn't care less how it sounds. But if you are a Steely Dan fan, those are must-have releases. Yeah, and the quite interesting fact this week, we have now 2 Analogue Productions. We have 2 Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, one even on Super Vinyl as a one-step, the Eric Clapton. And this week goes to Analogue Production. Although The Young Rascals is a fantastic release, don't get me wrong, it's a superb release. The Eric Clapton, as I said in my video, for me it was a bit underwhelming, but that may be due to the source material. But come on, if you decide we do this title as a one-step, as a title on Super Vinyl, maybe you have to choose careful what you bring out as a one-step or on Super Vinyl. Because if you do so, at least up until now, I expect only the best. You know, don't get me wrong, I really do like it if you get a record as good as possible. Maybe that it's not it's not possible that this Eric Clapton Unplugged sounds better. But then is the question I raise, what do you think? Shall I put it out as a one step? Does it make sense? I'm not, for myself, I'm not totally clear about that. This question remains to be answered. I don't have a final answer yet. If they go this track, then yeah, okay, I will be sometimes a bit disappointed. I have to think this more through, or even better, let's discuss this. But when it comes to these two releases, when you are into audiophile vinyl, this and this, everything must go, are your editions. Brilliant. Chapeau. And one other thing, what is quite, just comes to my mind, the policy. You know, Chad Kasem announced it a few days before you get it. So that means you already had them pressed and said, okay, here they are, order it, pre-order, will come in 7 days, 10 days, or whatever. That's cool in a way. You know, MoFi announced around 40 titles, which is, of course, on the other hand, also interesting. You know what you have to expect, what's coming. You don't know when it's coming. Is it this year, next year, or in 5 years? Quite different. Which way do you prefer? I'd say I like the quick one. Here it is, order it. Here it is. It's there. It's out there. Not much ado about this. It's a cooler way in a way. Okay, enough said. Okay, thank you for your time. See you on the next one. Bye.